We are live. We are live. We are live. How's everybody doing tonight? Dave, what's going on, my man? Over there, like clockwork, dropping them links.
What's happening, man?
What's up, dude?
Nothing, man.
I heard you went and did some fun stuff this week.
Oh yeah, bluegill fishing.
Man,
Bluegill, copper nose, and red ear in the mix.
that's what's up,
Man, that
man.
was fun.
Have you ate any of the red ear yet?
No, not yet.
Oh
Them,
man,
them,
you in
them
for a
fillets
treat.
were huge. Oh yeah.
Nice and thick.
Mhm.
Yep. That's one thing about them red ear, man. They stay thick, man.
Oh yeah.
Super thick. You had awesome. Here's something crazy. We've been getting on them. Just like I got slabs on deck. Georgia. He came down this weekend, and the ending result was great.
Mhm.
But man, when I tell you we had to work for them fish,
Man.
and then the next day we went Sunday. Then Monday I was back out, and it was even worse.
Mm.
When I tell you we fished 30 bluegill beds, I'm not kidding.
Mm.
At a minimum of 30 bluegill beds.
Man.
And we kept messing with them, kept messing with them. I'm talking about I take the and the thing is when it's just like my trip today. When the bite is finicky, those fish can still be caught, man. But
Oh yeah.
when you're on a guide trip, uh sometimes, man, it is just so darn on tough to get them to give that right action and feel those sensitive bites, those real light bites. But so what I decided to do was go with a slip float. And this is bluegill fishing that I'm talking about, fishing on beds,
Mhm.
and that was my very first time ever using perspective mode on my live scope. Very first time. I've never ever turned perspective mode on.
Mhm.
And me clicking in my mind, I was like, man, there ain't no way I can see these fish in those beds sitting there twirling around, and we drag, hopping these jigs through those beds, and they're not hitting them. So at one point, I had in my mind, man, that perspective mode may be what's preventing them from biting.
Mhm.
And so I turned it off and went to two or three more beds, and I mean the exact same thing. It's like, well, that's not it. Uh, and you know, especially if I'm doing a bluegill trip and they got a kid or a couple kids on the trip, I'll always bring red worms. So I had one reel already set up with a slip float and threw it out there. I was like, all right, give it just a little twitch, and if that cork goes down, that's to bite. And cast, twitch, and nothing. And finally, we're just sitting there talking, and the cork disappears.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, you got a bite right there. Set the hook, reel him in. So he cast back out. He's back excited. Cast back out. So I set up two rods, and both of the eels are father and son, and both of them are fishing, and they're both twitching. I was like, all right, let's try this. Let's just let that cork sit still. The cork really wasn't sitting still because the wind was blowing pretty good, and it was just barely dragging that cork over those beds, and that cork just boop
Hmm.
disappear. I said, okay, that's the new deal. Cast it upwind, and we'll let it swing past just let the current carry it. And they ended up with 84, I think,
Hmm.
84, with five really nice red are mixed in. But I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, if bluegill work us this hard, I wonder how many people's been out here and didn't pick up on little things like that. That was my first time having to use straight red worms, and I can't tell you how long.
Right.
I've been using that little old black jig that I've been using for forever, and it's been working great. But Monday they wouldn't touch it. They would not touch it.
Hmm.
How was your trip?
Yeah, I think we use them red wigglers, and then a hand tie, and then maggots, and I think the red worms outperformed everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
What did you catch your shell cracker? Was it red worms that you
yeah.
caught
Red
those on?
worms. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, that's the best, absolute best thing. Uh,
For them red ear.
yeah,
Yeah,
for the red ear. Yeah, I usually can catch them uh, on jigs, but uh, for some reason, man, those fish are
right.
super elusive, and worms is what it's been
Yep,
to get the really good shell cracker.
yep. And put perspective mode on first time, and that's
Oh,
all we do. Yep, we
it,
kept. Yep.
when you told me about that, I was like, man, you know what? Let me
Yeah,
stop being lazy. I just want to see what it looked like.
yeah. We just dropped the trolling motor and side scan.
Yeah.
Use perspective mode, 40,
Yep.
50 feet out. Yep. Put the power poles down, and it was just casting.
Yeah. So I'm missing power poles. I don't I don't have
Yep.
power poles. It'd be nice if I did. But the thing is,
We
I'm
just
fishing. Your power pole's 8 foot, right?
8 foot. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just moved the boat, so we're in about 6 foot of water,
And then cast to
and then
them.
just cast it to them. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up.
And kept the trolling motor right on the bed.
Right.
We could
Right.
see the screen.
That's
Yep.
that's super cool right there. Yep. Yeah. You know I always usually get to the ramp an hour early, hour plus early before trips, just so I can go out and look at things and take my time, get everything lined up. And the first thing I did when I turned that perspective mode on was, man, you gotta be able to see your jig coming through there. Could you ever see your jig?
No, I didn't. I didn't see the jig, but I could see them fish swimming around in them
Right,
beds.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
One thing that I could see is my jig hitting the water. I could see the splash.
Okay, I didn't pay attention to
But
that.
after that, I
Yeah,
couldn't. You can't see your jig.
and I noticed the depth didn't work on the
No, depth don't work.
perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
You have
because it's
no.
ahead of you. That's why. Yeah,
Yeah, you have no depth
yeah,
perception.
yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why, after I read about it, I was like, yeah, that don't interest me, because I mean, depth, that means a lot,
Mhm.
especially if you're going to use a slip car or some type of float. And what depth were the beds that y'all fished?
Um, 6 foot on average. Yep, four
Okay.
to 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of them were big, some of them were small.
Yeah.
They all had fish on them though.
Yeah. It seemed like the smaller beds down here turn out the bigger fish for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah. We got to one bed. I think the first all three ready are over a pound.
Oh wow.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I was
Yeah,
like, man.
we caught one that may have been pushing a pound, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's some really nice red
Oh
egg.
yeah. A 120 was the biggest. We caught a bunch of 108s. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Yep.
yeah,
10.5 inches.
nice. Yeah,
I
so
just
they were
plan
pretty
on
tall
it.
too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. See,
Yep.
I I hadn't really ran. I mean, years ago, I think these were hybrid mixed with copper nose or something.
Right.
They
Right.
would be the almost identical shape of the big
Yep.
bluegill, but they would have the markings of
Right.
the red ear.
Yep. Without the patch, the red patch or whatever.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And
But the
but
same build.
now,
Yeah.
yep. But now I hadn't seen them in a
Hmm.
while.
You catching more copper nose?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. And they're mixed with the natives, because the
Yeah.
natives got them black little black specks on them,
Yep. Yep.
and on the copper on their head, it's just a little bitty patch.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking that they're they're hybrid. You know, they're
Them
breeding.
carbonos are big profile.
Oh man,
Yeah, yeah.
and
The
thick,
layout's huge. Yeah, yeah.
very thick.
They're a little mean looking too.
Yeah,
Yeah, yep,
without a doubt. So Burchett asked how did perspective mode work? It worked great, other than no depth perception.
right.
But it definitely showed you the active beds.
Yep. What's in
And
there?
yep, one thing that I seen was some of the beds that we went to. One side of the bed would be hotter than the other side,
Yep,
or
yep.
it would be the
It's like a brush pile. Yep,
just like a brush pile.
yep.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, but we really had to work for those fish. Sunday and Monday, without a doubt.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm
Crappie
ready to do
day.
it again.
Yep.
Yep. Just something
Craig,
different. Yep,
big time, and great eating, man.
yep, yep.
There's Wayne.
Hey,
There's
Craig.
Carlton.
Hey, Wayne, Carlton,
Jr.
Jr. What's happening?
Torque.
Torek, what's happening? How's that fishing over there, man?
Torque probably tied up working.
Yeah.
I know it's got to be some other people that's been out fishing. Somebody give us a fish story. We always share our fishing
Yeah.
adventures.
Yeah, and then I
And
went for crappie one day. Uh, Started out brush piles. I went twice. The first day, a lot bigger fish. I don't know
uh-huh.
why. And then the next day, it just I had to go through a lot of small ones. The
Yeah.
same locations. I think some of them places are getting fished earlier.
Uh-huh.
So I get there around 11, so they're probably getting fished, and the bigger ones, they're coming back.
Yeah.
I had the first trip, it was some real good fish. A lot of pound and a halves in there.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Then I went to the timber, and it was hot and 15 foot the first time. I went back, and it was only a couple, so I think it was fished out.
Yeah. Cool.
But I'm gonna get on the water tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got a
Hey.
issue with my Garmin, the LVS 34. I made
Uh-huh.
all kinds of notes. I got to do another video. I'm gonna call Garmin, try to get that replaced,
Yeah.
and then my brakes. I put that relay, so I'm gonna test that out.
Cool. Yeah, that drawing you sent, it was pretty much what I was trying to relay
Right.
in that text.
Yeah.
So it looked like it's, other than the power to it, it's just like the stomp switch.
Yeah.
Yep. Pack one, what's going on, my man?
Hey,
Have you
Pack
had that
One.
brand new boat out yet? I know we were supposed to hook up to get you out there, but
What is
I
he?
never
Oh,
did.
that's right. What did he buy?
Z19, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. There's Marvin. What's going on, my man?
Hey, Marvin.
Tim, what's going on, man? Hey, y'all talked to
Tim.
Steve, but couldn't get hold of SK for that trip. Still no fish report. All honeydews.
Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, Tim, I seen your text, but I was tied up at the moment, and man, I totally forgot about it. Steve reminded me. I think you hit him up, and it was late when me and him talked about it, and I was like, yeah, I'll call him tomorrow. And I just forgot all about it.
Yeah. Tim wants to go do some fishing.
Yeah, get on some of them big old bluegill.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll be down there. Hopefully next week. I wanted to go, and then I looked at the rain forecasted like
Yeah,
2 or 3
yeah,
days.
yeah. It stormed for a little bit today down here. The thing is, yesterday it was all good on the forecast, and I get up this morning. I always, it's pretty much the first thing I do is open my phone up, look at the radar, look at what they are saying, and I was like, man, they saying it's going to be storming around 3 o'clock. And the whole day I'm on the lake, I'm looking up at the sky. I'm like, man, I hope these jokers are right. But I was able to, we put the 25 in the boat, got them all filleted, stood there and talked for a while. I went back out for a little bit, played around, came back, got loaded up, and almost made it to the storage before it stormed.
Man.
Yep. Yeah. But one thing that I'm seeing down here, man, and I've seen this I don't know why, but the fish down here do not like that sun, man.
Mm.
And I'm seeing it not only on Lake Houston, but on Lake Conroe also. uh, early, and I hadn't been out on the lake. I can't really speak on the late evening bite, but early till about 9:30, you can find them fish, sitting, just above the brush or on top of the brush. But after that sun get up, man, if you're not really looking really deep into that brush up under the limbs, this is Lake Houston. You're gonna pass over a whole bunch of fish,
Right.
and for years I've been talking about uh, how to not run your live scope or forward facing sonar super hot, because if you make those that brush pile as bright as the fish show up, you won't see them. And what I've been seeing on Conroe is the bluegill are still so thick on the brush piles that the crappie are actually using them for shade. So if you pull up to a brush pile and look down there and see all those bluegill, if you drop your jig down there and play with the bluegill, guess what? That's what you're going to catch.
Mm.
But if you look beneath the bluegill, sometimes inside of the structure, sometimes they'll sit on top of it. But there's going to be a giant school of bluegill on just about every piece of structure. And these fish are not. That's the only thing I can equate it to, is
Right.
they're not liking the sunlight. I hadn't spent almost zero time on any of the bridges, Conroe or Houston, so I can't say whether they're holding on any of the bridges. But if they're seeking shade like that on all of the structure I'm fishing, I'm willing to bet you they are.
Yeah.
Uh, but Conroe do have some docks that's deep, but I just how do you guide with brand new people and shoot docks?
Yeah.
I just don't feel comfortable doing it, because that's a technique that's you really have to know what you're doing to, one, make it work, and even more important than one is do it safely,
Yeah.
because you could easily, very easily, get a hook dug into one of your fingers shooting a dock. Craig say he just ate him some homegrown tomatoes, green beans, and ribeyes.
Cool.
Sound like a great meal to me,
Yep.
especially it being homegrown.
Yep. Tomahawk.
Yes, sir. And I know that ribeye is grass fed.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Pack one say he gonna get out any day now.
Oh cool.
Bert just said good crappie catches this past weekend in Arkansas. Tons of them followed the bait to the surface, but couldn't get those. Is there something
Right.
I'm missing?
Is it white
Technique,
crappie, black crappie? Because they act
tech.
different.
Yep, technique, jig size, jig
Yeah.
color. Uh, it no different than with the bluegill. If we made two or three casts and didn't get any action, it was time to roll. Let's pack up and move. Likewise with crappie, if I get two or three crappie that react to my bait but don't eat it, that's telling me that they're saying, "Hey, I will eat, but I'm not gonna eat that,"
Right.
and not necessarily color or size. Sometimes it could be action. Uh, but do not be afraid if you get fish that's following your bait and not eating it. Do not. First thing I'm gonna do is change action, because that's the fastest thing to change up. After that, I'm changing colors, I'm changing sizes, and on top of that, if none of that is, and I'm talking, this happens within 5 minutes. I got ADD when it comes to catching fish. I'm not gonna sit on one spot and not get the results that I want. It could be just that you have to move. What I do see is on some of the higher pressured piles, that I'll pass over. You can tell a pile is pressured because the fish act different.
Right.
They're nowhere near as aggressive. They sort of suspicious. They're gonna inspect everything. So that's what I would do.
Right.
Craig said Tim didn't take my fishing trip yet. No, not yet. We hadn't made it happen yet. Tor says College Station in Austin for me this week. Haven't taken a good fishing trip since on one of my troll motor batteries has been down. Enjoy bot customer service sucks big
Dang.
time. Enjoy bot. I've heard of them.
Probably ain't got no response.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. There are some out there that are just
Bad.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I bought one battery. It's not an eternal lithium, but I bought another off-brand battery. And when I got through talking to that dude, I was pretty much telling them I'm gonna blast y'all, but I never did do it. But uh, their battery, 100 amp hour battery, so-called 100 amp hour battery. I couldn't even do a 1 day trip, and this is just running my electronics.
Man. Yeah.
And I'm not one of them guys that leave my console unit running while I'm up front. So I always, if it's with my Hummingbird, I'm gonna turn it off, or at least dim the screen really dim, and turn all my sonar off. And if I'm up on the front deck, but but you've been having really good luck with you went with lead time, didn't you?
Yeah. Yep. The 336s.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's working good. Knock on wood.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, they went up, you know, since I got them pretty good.
Well,
Yep.
everything is
Yep. Yep.
yeah. All that stuff's coming from
Yep.
overseas
Like
anyway.
gas.
So
Yesterday, 245. Today, 299.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, man.
Craig, I can remember them days, man. But I know, dealing with hay right now is a lot different from way back. It used to be get hot back then, but nothing like it is now. There's Murdoch.
Murdoch, what's
See
happening?
that he's been in his garden. Everything's coming
Cool.
in busy time of year for him.
Yep.
Quintland.
Hey, Quinlan.
Perch says fish have no eyelids. They hate UV rays. I agree. SK with school out, the lakes around here in late afternoon are like a wash tub with all the boaters, without a doubt, especially Conroe. Man, we had a guy. I was actually with Ray. The guy Ray booked the trip uh, on Conroe, and man, we had some kids that were in this big old wake boat, and I don't know, 75 yards, 50 yards from us, and they shut down right behind us. When I seen that wake, I immediately turned the back of my boat towards the wave because I knew we would have been swamped if I would have left the front of my boat facing it. And we still took on water over the front of my bow with the waves hitting the back of the boat. Somebody's going to eventually get hurt from
Yeah.
them. I can't call them what I want to call them, but they're not smart.
Hmm.
They're inconsiderate, is what it
Right.
is. Wayne says, "Have we have Canada smoke coming and Saharan dust?" Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, I've been having to use my nasal spray already. Murdoch says shooting docks takes a lot of practice. I didn't figure it out in 1 day. Probably not a good idea to do that with clients. I totally agree. I totally agree. Sometimes I'll pass by a dock and see on Conroe and see fish under, and that's my question: have you ever shot docks? And most of just about all of them are like, "Do what?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Don't even worry about it. We can't do it today." No, I'm not in the training business of showing you how to shoot a dock. So Craig says his wife got him a new 40-ounce Stanley tumbler, and I put a lemon tackle. It looked good
Oh,
too.
cool. Yeah, looks good. Yep.
Yep.
It's gonna taste better now too.
Stay cold longer, huh? There's Mark with catfish and crappie. What's going
Hey,
on, my
Mark,
man?
what's happening, man?
Super Dave.
Super Dave. Been
Yeah,
fishing,
Mark.
Super Dave?
Mark say he just fried him up some bluegill, catfish, and salmon tonight.
Oh, cool. Yep. Yeah, I had some Whataburger
He
patty
said,
melt.
"Man, I sure can cook."
Yeah.
One thing I can't do, I can't eat catfish. I can eat them. I eat them one, eat two fillets once a year. Now, you know, the
Mhm.
thing is, if I got some bluegill or crappie, cooked up with
Yeah.
it's just it
Yeah.
don't go good.
When I used to work, we used to go get catfish at lunch. That was the only time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
when you taste
sir.
it, no, it's totally different.
It's big time
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Yep. Slap B say been shooting docks for years and years. Used to do it all day long some days. It's big on Coosa River because of the amount we have here.
Cool.
What's y'all's average depth of the docks, Slab B?
Yeah, I know they're on Palestine like crazy.
Really?
Docks, yeah.
Good depth?
Yeah. 8 to 10 foot.
Okay.
This you get a limit off one dock.
Wow.
Yeah, it's loaded.
Murdoch say he got two Dakota lithiums and they really take care of you. I haven't had a problem, but if I call them with questions and
Cool.
they were eager to help. That's what's up. Super Dave says he's been too busy and haven't
Okay.
made time, and that's the main thing right there.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is always family stuff that's more important than
Yep.
fishing.
Yep.
But I can remember when I was working, even working out of town, I had to make that time. And he said hopefully he's gonna get out this weekend. Hopefully you'll
Cool.
be able to get out there, Super Dave.
Yeah.
Brock say I will say the old school 7 foot Denali is a great dock rod. I tell you what, I'm in love with that 6.6, man. That thing feels like you're holding a pencil in your hand, and you can sling the. You know, I hadn't tried 3 pound fish, but fish pushing 2 pounds, you can swing them in with that little bitty rod. Loads up pretty quick. Craig says I need a SKD cat. I've never had any
Cool.
made for the other side. I've never had any made. Mark says I used to be like that about catfish too, SK, but I have been doing it wrong the whole time until now.
Yeah.
So you're eating the catfish first and then eat the good stuff, or what are you doing? I'll have to check out I got the notification for your video that you was gonna be doing some cooking over there. I'll check it out, see what you got going on.
Cool.
Has LBG been fishing or is he still cleaning that last batch of gills? I think that was his last trip.
Yeah.
Yep. Life has been busy for a lot of people, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like Big Les. I know some of you probably don't even know who I'm talking about, but he used to always be on the lives. But now he don't even have time to come on the live. Don't fish no more.
Yeah.
And I mess with them all the time, just like Slick. Slick still pop in on the lives, but these guys has been bank fishermen for a long time, and th- then they go and buy boats and buy live scope and fish 2 or 3 times with it, and might as well sell it now because they don't fish no more. But I just mess with them about that, maybe because it's like I always say, I know that there are more important things than fishing, but I'm not getting ready to ever quit fishing. I think that's why I'll croak it. If I can unload my boat, that's where I'm gonna croak it on my boat. Murdoch says I'm eating veggies almost every day. I don't eat a lot of meat when the garden is kicking. That's super
Cool.
cool right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Steve, do you ever fast?
No.
Anybody on the
For about an
like?
hour.
I
I'm
want to
a,
try it, man, because they say that helps your body get rid of a lot of anything that any toxins or anything
right.
like that you could possibly have. I want to do it for start off with like 3 days and
Mhm.
just to see. But you can still eat fish when you fast, right?
No, you can't eat anything. Which are liquids, I think. Sometimes not
Huh?
even liquids.
Slappy. Okay, 2 to 20 foot dock. Oh, 20
Okay.
plus feet. Wow.
It's
Dock
like
depth, wide range.
what's that lake? West of Fort Worth. Leon. There's like 20, 30 foot docks they shoot over there.
Wow.
Yep.
And it can be done all year. What makes it such a thing here, May and June is really good for it. That's what's up, man. That's what's good. That's what's up. Never had a 6.6. Oh, that 6.6 is it's feather light. It's super light. It is super light. Tim say he can fast to drink beer. Craig said I will have plenty to fish after I retire and sell a few cows.
Cool.
Have plenty of time to fish.
Yep.
Cozy, what's going on, my man? Say what's going on, fellas? I just treated myself to some early birthday presents, 2 new Denali rods and a new GMC GMC Denali. Oh,
Oh,
okay, the
cool.
truck. So you got two types of Denalis.
Okay.
And he said, and I'm fasting now myself. Really?
Cool.
Okay. Good. The Super Next, I do intermittent fasting. Basically, eat just supper. Currently, supper is just sardines and all.
Okay.
I do that almost always.
Mhm.
Uh, usually a pack of peanuts will do me. While I'm out guiding. I only time I eat breakfast is usually when I'm not going to the lake. But if I'm going to the lake, I usually don't ever do anything for breakfast.
Mhm.
And usually after I'm done with my trip and then fillet my fish and my client's fish and then I'll eat that pack of peanuts. But I will have dinner. But I'm gonna do a full blown fasting just to see if it makes me feel any better. Chit chat, what's going on, my man?
Chit chat. What's
Tell
happening,
tell
man?
us a fish story.
Yep.
JR say SK, my diet is seafood and eat it. And when my elbow bends, my mouth flies open. That's super cool right there. Tell you what, JR, I never would have guessed his age when I first met him. That dude is in shape, man.
Yeah.
Gets around great. Even Mr. Leroy is
Right.
82 years old.
Oh man.
This man still works.
Yeah.
He's beat cancer recently. Beat chemo recently. Still launches his boat. Goes fishing. I mean, if I can make it to that and be in the condition that Jr. or Mr. Leroy's in, tell you what, I'd be a happy man. I doubt that happened because I've lived such a stressful life that every job that I've had has been at the top of the
Yeah.
chain stressful. So that tears your body
Oh
down
yeah. Yeah.
just as hard, just as much as slaving, working super hard. Yep. Murdoch says I've actually thought about selling my big boat. The way I'm having to work these days, I can't do what I want to do.
Right.
Huh. What you gonna fish out of then? Or do you have two boats currently?
Yeah, I think he has a couple boats.
Oh, okay. Wayne said a low carb diet also can help. I've almost every now and then I'll stop at a barbecue place over by the lake and either do a brisket sandwich or a loaded baked potato. But the store bought meats I rarely do eat. My diet consists of mostly venison, wild pork, and a ton of fish.
Right.
So I will say that I feel so much better since my doctor for so many years was telling me to leave the red meat alone. I'm like, man, I gotta have my steak a week. But since I've left that stuff alone, my diet, I don't have heartburn and all of that other stuff. Oh, Torque say you do fasting. Great for a good body reset. I've also lost a significant amount of weight. And
Cool.
that's another thing I want to do too. Get some of this weight off of me. So Torque, when you fast, what do you intake? Do you just use liquids or what do you do? Craig says too much breakfast could be a problem when you're on your way to the water. Could be a problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. May have to run back to the ramp
Yeah.
or to a tree. No, two could be a problem.
Number two.
Oh, number two could, yeah, yeah, yep. Oh, I got a smaller boat I can use. This won't last forever, but for now, it is what it is.
Yeah. As long as it gets out there and gets them slabs.
That's right. Slab B say I love barbecue, but I stay away because of gout. I had gout in one of my big toes 2 years and got out. Ain't no joke. Very painful. I've
Oh,
heard that
yeah. Hmm.
it's pretty stiff pain. Chit Chat says the longest I fast was 7 days straight a few times. The
Oh,
very
wow.
first time you eat something, oh boy, stay close to the toilet.
Man.
Wayne say too many tacos in the morning. Tim Man sounds good. SK when a collect that trip lunch on me. Barbecue sounds good.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Mark says I fast 14 hours every day. I drink water and have two cups of coffee with heavy cream in the morning. Drop 15 pounds in three
Oh,
weeks.
man. It's good.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Did Joey fish with you, SK, last weekend? No, we seen each other at the lake. Yeah, I was pulling out when he was getting ready to lunch. I was leaving with my client.
Mhm.
48 hours water only fast. You can put a little pink salt electrolytes in your water. Super
Okay.
cool. Gerald say SK walks 7 to 8 miles a day to stay in shape.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. Slabby say I had two kidney stones and the gout was worse. Wow.
Man.
Now I'm gonna tell you, the kidney stones is
Mm.
that's a beast, dude.
Yeah.
Now I've had that. Almost shed a tear a few times. Yep.
Mm. They said Dallas, some parts of Dallas had 5 inches of rain in 24 hours.
Wow.
Yep. Crazy. We got
Pop
three
up and it's
inches.
pop up storms,
Yeah,
right?
last night.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's what happened down here today. It just formed right
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
Yeah, but with this heat we're having, man, it's
Yeah.
the least little thing can turn real nasty real quick.
Yep.
Little wind shift or anything else.
Yep.
Craig said, "Got to run. Great grandson home. Be right back."
Cool. Take care.
But guys, I will say this, and well, I'll let Steve comment on. I know you said about the 15-foot trees a while ago, but
Yeah.
one thing that uh uh Lake Houston right now, with the rain that we've been getting, most of that lake is very dirty right now. It is, almost muddy in some areas. Uh, and one thing that you got to remember, me speaking of a while ago of those fish not liking the sunlight, that dirty water tends to help them. Uh, well, it's a positive and a negative. Dirty water heats up faster. Crappie don't really like hot water. So even though it's muddy, they still tend to try to get deep, even if the water's muddy. But the muddy water do help them not have to dig so deep in that structure. So if you're out, depending on where you fish at on the lake, uh, that's going to be a determining factor. And I'm still seeing these fish, in the bayou and the river. And I hadn't been to the West Fork in a while. Uh, I thought of going to the 1960 bridge today, but the bite we were on was I was like, yeah, we gonna hold to this because we putting decent fish in the boat, and it had the color worked out, and depending on the water clarity or how dirty it is, you may be having to change up on your base. I forgot I typed up my report today. I forgot to mention we had got into a pretty dirty area and had to use that hot white.
Hmm.
But in the areas where there was moderately clearing, that modified blue diamond was a ticket. And then I don't know, we lost probably 3 jigs today.
Okay.
But dipping in that structure, like I told my class, man, we putting a hook in a tree.
Right.
This is heavy. They're into heavy stuff. Lay down trees.
Hmm.
And I was like, man, don't worry about losing to me. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Hooked into two big gar today. One really nice blue cat that all that got. We didn't get the gar in, but we had a good pull from them and caught that decent blue. But my client, he was sort of like me. I don't do the catfish. Kenneth Pippins.
Hey, Kenneth.
Is this the Kenneth Pippins? No, that's not Pip. What's Pippin first name that played with Jordan?
Scotty.
Scottie Pippen. Good evening, gentlemen. That troll motor. Oh, what troll motor do you use?
I'm using a Minn Ultrax Quest. I've
And
had it
I'm
maybe a
running,
year, I think.
yeah, I'm running a Force, Gorman Force on my Nitro, and I got a Ultera on my doggle, Minn Ultera. Wayne says I drink some lemon water and ACV to rid myself of stones. What's ACV?
I don't know.
Murdoch says there's really only one way to lose weight and keep it off. You got to burn more calories than you take in, without a doubt. These fads that pop up from time to time might work, but it's short term.
Right.
Yep. Chit Chat says I remember when Big Les used to be on here typing up, tying up jigs. So no, I think you're talking about,
Yeah, he's talking about somebody else.
yeah, you talking about somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, now Big Les he don't tie jigs.
Yeah.
So he has stopped fishing. You say, yeah, yeah. The Big Les I'm talking about has. Oh, apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
I heard a lot of people talk about that,
Yeah.
different cleansings and stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Everybody knew except for me. Yep. That's what's up.
I can't wait to get out tomorrow. I think I'm gonna start with I got a hand tie on it. It's a gray, plain head, gray body, black tail with a little red. Um, Either I'll put a little red feather in it with the black, or I'll use this red flash here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's been killing them.
Yeah.
That's why bluegill. I was telling them I got some red in there. That thing's been smoking them. I'm gonna try it tomorrow.
I ain't put nothing red on my jig. So what do you think you what do you think would you're gonna start at tomorrow? Depth
um, Probably 15 foot. I'm just gonna go to a
15 foot.
local lake right here. Walk to yeah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna start 50. They should be in that 15-foot range.
Yeah.
12, probably 12 to 20. They're gonna be in,
Yeah.
but I'll start 15 and
Or is that a usual summertime pattern? Do they usually
yeah,
go
yeah.
deeper?
They'll go deeper sometimes.
Uh-huh.
It all. I'm gonna have to. I'll go earlier tomorrow, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to wherever they're at. I'm gonna find them.
Right,
Yep.
right. And that's the
Sometimes
whole
they'll be in
ticket.
8 foot of water. Sometimes you never
Exactly.
know.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
That's the big benefit of forward facing sonar because it gives you live.
Yep.
You know where the fish are. If
Right.
you keep looking, you will find them.
Yep. I
And
got a
then,
tree line that starts in about 8 foot and it
uh
goes to
huh,
about 22 foot. So I'll follow that tree line until I see them.
till you see them.
Then I'll
Right.
have an idea of the rest of the lake.
Yeah. 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 One thing I will say that if you even if you don't have forward facing sonar, and I'm gonna tell you now, most I know Steve have too, but I've caught tons of limits of crappie before live scope was even a thing. And any of you that's watched some of my old YouTube videos way back before live scope, my biggest thing was 3 to 5 minutes. If I didn't get, and I always carried 2 to 3 rods with me, sometimes four, to whereas I didn't have to retie to change baits or sizes or colors. So I just grab another rod. 3 to 5 minutes. If I was on a spot and didn't get the results I wanted, I was gone. And I know a lot of people that listen to this don't have live scope, so that's something that's always good to put out there. And I will say, if you got forward facing sonar, if you're not seeing them, they're not there.
Right.
If you got your unit dialed in, if they, it could be deep in the structure and you're just too hot to see them, but usually, if I know with me, if I don't see them, straight on. As I'm passing by a brush pile, I'll always scan it coming up to it, constantly moving that troll motor to pan it, make sure that there isn't a limb blocking some fish. And also, after I pass it, I turn my troll motor back towards that pile to scan it from the opposite direction because, I know everybody's heard people always say, oh, it's just like a spotlight. And if you're walking at night with a spotlight, you know that it throws everything that you shine has a shadow behind it. And if you want to see what's behind that, whatever it is, you got once you pass it, you got to look back to shine that light. And that's something that several times I've had to turn around and look back at the structure, and I'll see fish that I passed over and just couldn't see them. But staying on the move is the thing.
Yeah.
JR says, "Careful, Steve. Joey will be kidding you about any red on your jig." Yep.
Yeah. I'll be scanning sometimes, and I'll just lose not looking at the screen for a minute. Then I'll look down at it, and I'll look, oh man, there's fish. I'm passing them.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep. And that's
Turn turn around and go get them again.
yeah. My last eye visit, I got cataracts coming, and it's from not blinking enough.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you now. Ever since my last year's visit to the eye doctor, they talked to me about the, hey man, you got to use moisturizer, a moisturizer drop. You
Dry
you
eyes
gotta,
and
yep, dry eyes is what caused it from
the
not
wind.
blinking to moisturize your. And I was like, I wonder if I blink my eyes while, and there was times where I'd be like
Looking at the screen.
looking at the screen. I'm like, I hadn't even blinked my eyes yet because it could be at the blink of an eye that you miss it.
Yeah, yeah,
Because it is live. You don't have the
yeah.
history like with
Right.
side imaging to where you
Yeah,
can see it later on.
yeah.
Yep. Something got to be biting red jigs if they are on the shelves. You think? I don't think.
Yeah, I wish Bluegill was here.
Yep.
I
Oh,
told him.
he'd have he
Yeah.
listening. He said he'd be listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the road though, so he probably got a big old smile on his face
Yeah.
already. Oh,
Yeah.
Steve using red.
Yeah,
Murdoch
we didn't
says
use none
which.
on the bluegill trip though.
Yeah, yeah,
Red worms, hey, that's red, right?
yeah, yeah. Which of your TMs do you prefer uh, to live scope with? My Tarova is not responsive enough.
Depends on what kind of boat you got. Your
I've never
budget,
owned an
budget number
Ultera.
one. Yep, budget number one.
Yep. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Uh, the the Ultera is a great troll motor. Uh, but I'm totally happy with the Force.
Yeah. What kind of boat do you have? What kind of boat you putting it on?
He's probably talking about this. He got a Ranger, Murdoch.
His. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was he talking
Unless
about
he's
his
talking
big
about
boat?
his small boat. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I made it happen on my doggle. Uh, and that's what a lot of people never could get through they never had the vision of how, and what you're saying right there, the Tarova, Ultera, uh, not Ultera, but the Tarova, the Ultrex, not the Ultrex. What's my other troll motor? I forgot already.
Garmin Force.
No, the Minn Kota. The self stow and deploy.
Ultera.
Is it Ultera?
Yeah.
I'm thinking Ultrix. So the
Yeah,
Ultera, the
Ultrex. That's what I
Tarova,
have. I have an
yeah,
Ultrex. Yeah.
yeah, you got the Ultrix.
Yeah.
Ultera, the Tarovas, and all of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. They had the four tracks back then and
Yeah, they are fully electronic on
steer.
their turn
Yep.
on the
Yep.
steer,
Yep.
fully electronic, and it suck.
Ultrex
Uh,
is electric assist. It still has the
right,
cable. Yeah.
exactly. And one thing that if you're using the foot pedal, and also another thing is it only has one speed. It's on or off. So you can't slow pan. It's when you hit that foot pedal or the remote, it's yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just turn one speed.
Right.
And I used to always have people, man, why you clicking? What is all that clicking noise? But that was me just bumping that the
Right.
remote, and that's why I used the remote so much with my Ulteras because I could fine tune where I needed that troll motor point to because I just slowly move it, just tick click 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 click,
Right.
and made it work. But I already knew that I did not want to put a black troll motor on my dog,
Right.
so I stuck with the Ultera. And man, if Gorman came out with uh 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 the Force with the stow and deploy, it'd be killer.
Yeah.
It would be killer because I can slowly move that foot pedal and that turbo motor just barely
Yep.
turns. Or I can push the turbo motor the foot pedal fast. And it's really
Yep.
fast.
Look what I got. Red feather.
Uh oh. Zero says SK heavy rain just passed over Conroe and heading for Lake Houston by 12 tonight. Yeah, this rain just won't quit, man. It will not quit. Chit Chat says live sonar has most definitely saved me a lot of time on the water, without a doubt. I totally agree. Craig says he's back. We drove around the hayfield looking for deer. Only saw one baby.
Man,
Oh no, my Ranger. I can't get the Tarova. Uh, can't get the Tarova to do that. Maybe.
on my Ranger, I can't get sure to get.
There's LBG.
LBG.
He heard us talking about that red.
Yep, yep.
What's going on, Dale?
Hey, Dale, how's it going, man?
Any special line you use? Steve got two brands.
Yeah,
One that I've used and it works great.
braid. Yep.
Yep.
It all depends what you're fishing for. I like braid.
Yeah, I love
Yep.
braid.
And
I
then
got
I
braid
use
on
some
everything.
fluoro for my bluegill.
Casting.
Yeah, and cast. I got some braid for casting now. It works pretty good.
Okay. What what
Um,
was that P line braid you went with?
no, that was fluoro. That's like 15 pound. But I got
Okay.
some 10 pound cast king. It's pretty good.
Okay.
High vis.
Don't so if you so happen to get a wrap up or something, it don't
No,
ball in the
I got
knot.
it on my casting rods.
Okay.
Yeah, it works good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Yep.
Then I got some of this Japanese. I haven't used it yet. This
That's a real light
Japanese.
pound.
This is 6 pound.
Okay.
I haven't used it yet.
Is that Daiwa?
Yeah, I think Daiwa makes it, but there's
That's some
nothing
pretty
Daiwa
expensive
on it.
stuff, right?
Made in Japan. I got it off of
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah. LBG
Yep,
laughing.
Daiwa. Yep.
There's Darian. What's going on, man?
Hey, Darren, what's happening, man?
BRTP. What's going on, dude?
Hey, BRTP.
BRTP been real quiet too. I gotta put him in the group with Slick and Big Legs. He don't fish no more either. Chit Chat says, Steve, go ahead and tie one up right quick with the red feather. Oh, LBG say he run P line braid.
Okay.
I knew some. I thought I knew. Yeah, LBG used that black P line braid. That's who it
Okay.
is. Dale says, well, I wadded up the race car 2 weeks ago. Guess I'll have to go fishing more often.
Man.
Torque says, Steve, I don't think you want to come next week. It's raining every day
Yeah, I
next
know. I
week
seen that.
as of now.
Man. Probably have to go for the week after.
Murdoch says, can't get Tarova to respond fast enough. I know. Do Murdoch, do you have a remote for it? Or are you using the foot pedal? I know I can with the Ultrix. I wanted to try no foot pedal, but it's not working out.
Yeah. Foot pedal's probably the best.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I agree. Now I will say that Gorman is their remote is sort of slow. I use it in a pinch, but it's it has a delay on the force remote.
Yeah.
But their foot pedal, man, it's point on. Craig said no red jig jokes tonight. I promise. Look at LBG. Say fish already wet, Steve. Yeah, buddy. LBG, you done made that drive already, man. You smashing on it.
80.
90.
Man, I was
Yeah, buddy.
driving the other day, towing my boat, going 80.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you're on 59. That's what's up. Be careful, man. Have safe travels to you, brother. But that's about all I got, man. I
Yep.
mean,
Same thing. Yep.
I'm pooped.
Get on that water in the morning.
Oh, super cool, super
Yep.
cool.
Call Garmin. Hopefully get this transducer replaced. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to fight with them, but they're usually pretty good.
yeah, yeah,
If I have
yeah.
problems, I hang up, call somebody else. They'd
Right. Yes, sir.
be like, "Hey, give a deposit, no
That
problem.
answer.
Mail it
That
out
answer.
tomorrow."
Yep. That answers my
Yep.
question. I've had two old tricks. Don't know why I bought that dang Tarova.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That
Send that
range is
rain
probably
to
a 52-inch shaft. You'll be good.
yeah. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Super Dave. Appreciate you, brother. Craig says, when is a good time to call you, SK? Tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow.
Craig coming to Texas fishing when he retires.
Probably when he retire.
Yeah.
Oh, Super Dave, I'm glad you posted that. Any of you guys that's on Facebook, you may want to go and check out, especially if you have kids or grandkids. I think I got it set for 7 to 15. I'm doing a guided bluegill trip uh, for a parent and a child over on the page. And this is the link for it right here. So if you're on Facebook and haven't joined that group or already on that group, I do have a giveaway going on over there. And I'll be picking the winner, I think, sometime next week.
Cool. Good times.
Yes, sir. Help get a kid out on the water.
Yep. Yep.
And if any of you guys want to get on the boat with me to learn forward facing sonar, what I do to consistently put crappie in the boat or go bluegill
Yep.
catching.
Shoot, 84 bluegill in a trip. That's good.
Yes, sir. On
Yeah.
a tough day. That was a tough day.
Yep.
Yep. Man, so many people ask me, man, how long did it take you to clean all those? I didn't clean all those, buddy.
Yeah, it takes a little longer to fillet bluegill.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yep.
sir. Gorman customer
Tough to beat. Yep.
service, hard to beat. I
Yep.
agree. All right, Murdoch, man, I really do
Yep.
appreciate
Take
you
care,
guys
Murdoch.
always stepping in, man, and
Yep.
I appreciate you guys participating. Everybody else that's in the chat. Super Dave is the man
Yep.
running the chat over there, keeping it clean. And I hadn't noticed anybody, I think we got a really good group of guys right now. I hadn't seen any negative stuff in the
Yep.
comments. Man, it's been awesome. Steve, always great having you
Appreciate it.
on.
Yep.
LBG will be here tonight too, but he's on the road. Be careful, brother. Like I said a
Yep.
while ago. Oh, Craig says he's retiring in July,
Oh,
selling some
cool.
cows this month.
Yep.
And as Super Dave always says, be
Yep.
safe, everyone. Wear those PFDs. And
I might do some night fishing coming up.
I had a client. I
I
had a
want to shoot
client.
some docks at
Yeah,
night.
I had a client hit me up, and he read my report talking about how that sun was affecting those fish, making them dive deep into
Hmm.
the structure. He wants to do a nighttime trip, so I might
Oh,
be putting
cool.
that together.
Yep.
And here's that favorite saying, guys.
Yep.
See everyone next week.
Same
Same
time.
time,
Same.
same flavor.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.